What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy, Dcentos or
Mm.
Decent, aka I don't even know. Call me what you want. It's your boy Dcentos. I'm back in the building, and with my main man. Yo, introduce yourself.
You already know who it is. It's your boy, Straw Hat Yomo, back again for another hiatus. But you know what it is. We're over here about to talk about that Invincible and Jujutsu Kaisen. So
Yes,
there you go.
yes, sir. All right, we starting right off with the Invincible, man. Man, Invincible. I don't
hmm
even. I want you to take the floor on Invincible because I actually got onto Invincible late, so I feel like my opinion may differ because I I,
hmm
I watched the show after it ended, after all the hype was gone, but I know you was watching
Yeah.
it week to week, so let me have you talk about it or tell me what your initial impressions of it were.
So overall, I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed the show. So when I first watched it, I started watching it. I think when it was like 4 episodes in, maybe 3 or 4 episodes in. And I heard of it from a streamer called the Black Okage, or TBH for short. And he was kept on talking about Invincible, and I kept on seeing it on Twitter as well too. So I was like, you know what? I got Amazon Prime. I might as well check it out. Watch the first episode. I think it's like the first. Each episode's like what, 30 minutes long? Maybe no, maybe 40 something
Nah,
minutes long.
nah,
I
that should
think.
that should definitely 45 minutes long.
Yeah, it's like 45 minutes long. Yeah. So I think the first, I guess maybe 40 minutes, maybe a little bit before that, was a typical superhero show. I was like, yeah, this seems okay, but I don't see what the hype is all about. And then the last 5 minutes, when that nigga Omni Man was just throwing hands on
Mm.
the, I guess was it the Great Value Justice League? Oh
What was that
man.
name? The Guardians of the Earth or some
The
junk?
guard, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
They some great value
Right.
Justice League people.
By the
But when
way,
that man was throwing hands, go
mhm.
ahead.
By the way, we are doing spoilers, so I mean, this is your warning now. If you haven't seen the show, you'll bet. All right, continue.
Exactly. But when that nigga Omni Man pulled up and was actually throwing hands, cause I was like, yo, what is this man doing? I guess he's like training them. I thought it was like a test. But when I saw he grabbed the that guy that's supposed to be like the Flash and crushed his head, I was like, oh no, this ain't no test, bro. He this ain't no test. He's trying to kill y'all for real, for real.
hmm
So when I saw that, I was like, yeah, I'm hooked on this show. This show is where it's at. And I think that's one thing that a lot of superhero shows are kind of like scared to do. They're not rated, they're not into that gore or rated R kind of stuff. They kind of
Mm.
play it safe. They don't really show too much blood or anything like that. This show just goes all in. And so once I watched all those episodes, I was like, yeah, this is one of those shows where I had to read the comics. I started reading the comics from the beginning just to see what the
Oh.
changes they've done, because they've done some changes. But for me, I enjoyed the show. I really did enjoy it.
Interesting. Yeah. So with me, you know, I saw everybody talking about it from week to week. Like, hey, man, like, oh, like you gotta watch out for this, man. Like, I kind of already knew who the villain was. Like just because of scrolling on Twitter and seeing Omni Man's face like 24/7.
Yeah.
I'm just
hmm
like, I was like, okay, all right. I mean, you kind of get that. You kind of get the point by the end of the first episode. But like I came in, I'm like, okay, like why everybody talking about the superhero show? Like, what is this about? And I started watching it first episode. And I said, what is this slice of life superhero show? I was like, you don't get this bootleg Justice League
hmm
slash bootleg My Hero Academia out of my face. I was like, I don't got time for this because people were gassing the show up and they were gassing the show up. And because the show it's not an anime, it's a cartoon. I mean, if you think there's a difference, but that's not the point. But I'm always like I feel inclined to compare it to like Teen Titans or compare it to like some type of anime like My Hero. So I'm like, all right, like if everyone's saying this show is like amazing, let me check it out. So I mean, yeah, like you said, we were watching the first episode. I'm like, I was kind of bored. I said, there's nothing special about the show. And then you get to the end and you see the plot twist where Omni Man starts going ham. And I said, okay, this show is different. And I was like, why did he do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, why did
Yeah.
he try to cover it up? And we started with the story and well, let me start with the animation. How did you feel about the animation? Did you like the animation? I,
I
I,
feel
I feel like it
people were
was
saying like,
serviceable.
yeah, I thought it was pretty solid. Some people were saying like it's unservable or like they've noticed some parts where it was kind of clunky, and I did notice that too.
Yeah.
But I still felt like it was pretty fine. I'm one thing people got to realize is that they had a lot of top actors voice acting this show. If
Mm-hmm.
you look in the IMBD list, they had a lot of top actors. They got the guy from the Asian dude from The Walking Dead, the Asian girl from Grey's Anatomy,
Yep.
the guy who's he's a Spider-Man. He's the guy who owns that newspaper company. What's the name of that
Oh,
guy? JK something or
J.K.
JJK.
Simmons.
Yeah, JK Simmons. I think Seth Rogen was in it as well too. So they had a lot of people. So a lot of that money was probably going to their pockets first, and
Right.
then the animation. So there was gonna be some sacrifices they had to make. But now that this show has gotten a lot of popularity, and it got announced for a second and third season,
Yes, it
I feel
did.
like their money's gonna be good.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it was kind of weird to see the gore with that animation style. It's just
Yeah.
it's something that we're not used to. We don't see it very often, and that kind of threw me off at first. I was like, ooh, I was like, okay. I was like, I don't know how I feel about this gore, but but
Yeah.
I was like, okay, okay. But let's see where we're going with it. And I kind of I liked where it went. Um, as far as like the story and the plot, um, I think I don't I don't think it's anything too crazy because for the most part, I feel like it was like besides from like Omni Man doing what Omni Man did, I feel like for the most part it was a standard superhero show where you have a teen who's trying to balance his school life, trying to manage a girlfriend and trying to be a superhero all at the same time. And he was Marcus, that's the name of the main character. He was failing at it miserably. And
Yeah.
but what I like about this show, and I think a lot of people were compared to the one show on Amazon, The Boys. Was it The Boys with the
Yeah. I
superheroes?
haven't seen it.
Where that show, similar to this show, it shows the other side of superheroes, like the dark side of superheroes. How because multiple times throughout the show we see Mark and he gets beat up, he gets messed up. Like it's crazy. Like civilians are dying. Like it is not a happy ending at every episode. And I think that makes it very very interesting to watch because it's not like all right man, like okay, even if he fails, like somebody gonna save the day. It's like nah, man. If he fails, people are gonna die, and he kind of has to live with that, and he kind of has to learn, how to manage that. So I really enjoyed that in part of this. So I think they did that really well.
Yeah. The balancing it made it seem real, it wasn't unrealistic. So I did enjoy that as well. I didn't really have really any critiques on the show, like anything bad per se. Maybe the animation, but the animation was fine, like I didn't feel like
Mhm.
it was that bad. I saw a lot of people had a lot of critiques on Amber.
Oh,
Now,
okay,
so originally Amber was she was white in the comics, but they changed her to a black
okay,
person. And when in the comics, I've seen a little bit of this, but in the comics, Mark came out and revealed that he was a superhero, and she took it fine. But
mm,
in the show, she didn't take it fine. Like in fact, she even knew about it the entire time.
right,
And people were saying that, well, they didn't like how they made Amber to be a loudmouth, like stuck up,
right.
that kind of girl, because it kind
Mhm.
of plays as a stereotype towards black women. And I was like, I don't see where the
Nah,
people are
people were
coming from when it
reaching.
comes to
Nah,
that,
people were reaching.
They were reaching. They really were reaching. And I was listening. I try to give it an open mind, but I was like, I don't I feel like
Mm,
it isn't the fact that they were trying to put a stereotype. I just feel like it was bad writing because it doesn't make sense for her to get upset if she already knew the entire time that this guy was a
nah, nah,
superhero,
nah. I don't
She
know.
didn't know the entire time.
I
Go
kind of
ahead.
disagree with the community. I actually liked Amber. To me, I don't know. I just feel like most of you critiques. I was like, I feel like you guys didn't understand the whole point of what their relationship was. I feel like most of you probably. I feel like most of the haters on Twitter have never been in a relationship because here is my problem. Okay, even if Amber knew, Amber's problem wasn't necessarily that he was a superhero. Her problem was that this man was late on almost every single day, late to meeting the parents, 2 hours late. Do you know how many times this man was late, and she kept giving this man chances and chances? She gave this man a million chances. No, no. I'm saying no. But think about it. Think about it. All right. Maybe this is before you know that he's a superhero.
Okay.
You bring your boyfriend, right? And he's about to meet your
Okay.
parents. Your parents.
Yeah.
Your parents. Not your boys. Your parents. 2 hours late. Bro, that's crazy. 2 hours late. And
That
and
is
he keeps
true.
doing this consistently. And then you invite him to come to the community with soup kitchen late again. I mean, granted, he got hit by a bus. So I mean, well, that was what the excuse was. But it's just like, wow, like he keep on dubbing me. And after a while, it's just like, yo, like, you know, either you be honest with me or you gonna stop on dubbing me, or this relationship's gonna at the end. So I just feel like, at some point I feel like Amber felt as though, you know, we've been dating for this amount of time. At some point you should probably tell me that you are a superhero. You should probably tell me, or you should
Yeah,
make things
I
more
feel like there
clear.
was a lack of
You
trust.
you shouldn't have to wait until the relationship is over by her grounds before you say something. At that point, that's like our last resort. That's like a not even a last resort. That's like oh man, like guess it's just like it's like you didn't want to until the consequences were there. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
so I'm not necessarily mad at Amber's character development. I'm not mad that about how she felt about Mark, because I was like, yeah, it's me, man. You gonna keep on dubbing me, man? It's gonna be over real quick. I ain't got time for the ladies to be dubbing me. Shoot, no, I do. But I don't know that. That's all I'm saying. You're not gonna keep dubbing me, so I'm not mad at Amber's character. I like her character. I think she did just fine. I think that's a very realistic approach to it. Um, and
I feel like people were just upset with that part, because I heard one side saying that, well, they're trying to stereotype black women to be like, a loudmouth, always angry kind of person, and I was like, I don't see
she
where you
wasn't
guys are coming
loudmouth.
from with that,
She wasn't always
but
angry.
she wasn't loudmouth. But she was only angry when Mark did like these bad things.
Exactly.
That was the only time she was mad. She wasn't all the time upset. So I was like, I don't know what you're all talking about. But
Mm-hmm.
hey, I mean, to each their own. To each their own. But that was one thing I saw from people talking about. Overall, though, I just love the show. So I don't know if you know this, but the guy who made, I'm pretty sure I'm correct, but the person who made The Walking Dead is the same person who
Yes,
made
that's correct.
this show. And
Yeah.
so I've heard a critique about this show is that it never really. So with My Hero, the world
Right.
building is very good, and it gives you like an origin to how people have these superpowers, right?
Okay.
But with this guy, people have noticed like with his shows, like for example, The Walking Dead, it never explained how people get turned into zombies, like how this whole apocalypse happened. It
Mm-hmm.
just said like, "Hey, we're here."
Right.
Same thing with this show too. They never really said the basis of like how they're superheroes. They never said the origin. They're just saying like, "Hey, they're superheroes. Here we are." And so
You
that's
know,
one critique
yeah,
someone had to
I,
say.
I I see that critique, but I think the only reason why it doesn't hold any weight is because at that point it feels like the universe that they built is used to superheroes at that point, where
Yeah, it's used to it.
it's not like there's just one guy who's a superhero and now we need a story. It's like, nah, just a whole bunch of superheroes on the TV. So it's not really, you're not really special. So like
Nah.
I could see that point, but I feel like that's not like a major issue to me.
Yeah, I mean that was the one critique that I saw, but I mean overall the show was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the second season as well too. I love the memes that were coming out from it.
Mm.
From the whole Omni Man saying "Think, Mark,"
Think.
that I did enjoy that. Because people started putting in their own little spin on it. They'll have like Dark Vader versus Luke Skywalker, in that kind of scene. Or
Right.
I saw one person put a Kofi hat on top of
Oh, a
on
Long
top of
Beach
Mike.
Riffy. Oh
Yeah, I
my
saw that.
god.
Once I saw that, I was like, yeah, it's done out here. So
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely did enjoy it. I'm definitely looking forward to that second and third season. I
Um.
heard it gets even worse and more, um, it's more
mhm.
gore into it as well too. I'm also wondering where it's gonna go towards with the story
Yeah.
because Omni Man, after he gave Mark that ass whooping, he just flew off,
Yeah. Yeah. He
and
did
I was
fly
just
off.
like, damn, all right.
Yeah.
Like
Um.
that's one thing I'm about to say about that show. That last episode, I felt bad for Mark. That
No.
man got slapped
He
all
was.
the way to Chicago,
He
and then
said
he tried to help. He tried to help
yo.
those people in the apartments. He didn't help nobody.
Yeah.
His dad took
People
him
were
all the way
dying.
underground, put him to
Yeah.
in front of the subway, and said, "Hey, eat this. We're having Subway tonight." And
Hmm.
and I didn't think it was gonna go that bad. Like the
Hmm.
way Omni Man just flipped his character just like that and said, "Hey, I don't care about these people at all. I'm gonna kill these guys,
Exactly.
regardless." That was when I was like, "Yo,
Hmm.
this might be my favorite character." I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. I think
So,
and I don't want to backtrack a little bit just about some more positives of the show. Just because one of the things I really liked about this show, like you remember that scene where and I don't know, for some reason this reminded me of Luke Cage. But you remember that scene where he tried to help that black dude in the hood? What's
I
his
didn't
name?
see Luke Cage.
No. Oh, you didn't see Luke Cage? Oh
Nah,
man.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, but okay, so remember that scene where he was trying to help that dude beat the what's his name? Gearhead or Machine Head? And he was talking about how
Oh
like,
yeah,
like
I like that episode.
I really like that arc in character building because
Yeah,
it really talked about like how as a superhero you kind of have to make choices. You know, I know
yeah,
I know. Do you help a criminal try to be another criminal to help the greater good, or do you kind of just mind your own business and kind of go above that because you're a superhero? It's like, are you a local superhero like a Batman trying to help Gotham, or are you someone like
yeah.
much bigger like Iron Man? And it was crazy because technically at the end of that episode, he kind of got betrayed almost. Like,
So
Rick.
yeah, he did big because the guy. So his dad was saying that, hey, I wouldn't mess around people like that because
Hmm.
what's gonna happen is that if you save that dude or if you help him take out like that big kingpin, what's gonna happen is that another person's gonna take that spot. So it's gonna be an endless cycle. And his dad proved it. He's like, once
Hmm.
they took out the machine head, that rock dude took over. You know,
Exactly.
and his mom was also on the other side saying that, hey, even you should still help out people no matter what, because you are not there. I forgot how she worded this. She was like, there's no greater good I can say for saving the person, like no
Hmm.
matter who you save, like you at least save that person is basically what she was trying to
Right.
say. And I was like, okay, I can see both sides of that too, but I mean in the end the guy ended up taking over, so
Exactly. I think one critique I do have of the show is I think my least favorite character was what was the name of Mark's friend?
oh,
What's his name?
I forget what's it. Was it Wally or
Oh no, what was it?
I don't know what that
William?
guy's name was,
No.
but I know
Uh,
you're talking about the white
y-
dude, right?
yeah, was
Yeah,
it
yeah,
Rex?
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I understand the show is not following the typical superhero tropes, but he was like the worst like best friend to a superhero in any
Really?
show that I've seen. I was like, I feel like he wasn't utilized enough. He had like one major episode when they were in the college, but he was kind of like he didn't know
Mm,
that Mark has superhero powers until like near like the end of the season. I'm just like, to me, he didn't need screen time. It was to me it was more about Mark, Amber, and Adam Eve. Like those three are the main characters. To me, him he doesn't need to be in the show because I don't really think
he
he
was more of
contributed.
like,
I don't think he
in my
contributed
opinion,
anything, to be honest.
he was more like comedic relief. I would say
I don't even
he
think
played
he
a
was
comedic
funny,
relief
bro.
role.
I didn't even find him funny.
Um,
To me, if he's not in the show is just the same, maybe even better because they got screen times for other things.
yeah, he
Um,
didn't really do anything now that I think about it, but like he just played comedic relief. That's all his
mhm.
role was. So I'm like, yeah, it was
uh,
whatever.
Other than that, I wish like Adam Eve, her arc, it was. I I feel like there should have been more development there. You know, she was talking about managing school and being a
Yeah.
superhero and how her parents didn't want to be a superhero, and then she moved out. I feel like if you're not gonna dedicate full screen time to really fleshing out her character, they probably should have cut back on it. But I mean, we'll see what season 2 holds. I just feel like there should have been more over there. Um, what else? I think that's my only critiques. Uh, Obviously, Omni Man, he's a great character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
I also
it's interesting with Omni Man because
yeah.
he came from Viltrum. I know people were calling the Viltrumites, like they're calling them Saiyans if Planet Vegeta didn't blow up. But it's interesting to see how he came
Yeah.
basically to conquer the planet like Goku, pretty much. And
Yeah.
he got married, and towards the end we see how before he completely finishes off Mark, we see that he had a change, not necessarily a change of heart, but you could tell that his family did mean something to him, no matter despite what he was doing and what he was saying. So I
I
think
feel
that
like he was trying to talk himself out of it because when he was beating him, he was like, "What's 17 more years, to
right.
make it like another person?" When he
Hmm.
said that, that kind of hurt me though. I ain't gonna lie. I was like,
Yeah.
"Damn, that's your own father saying
Yeah.
that." And he
Exactly.
also said that he called his mama pet,
Pet. I said,
and he gave him
oh,
when he said that, I was like, "Oh."
this
The
man is
entire
a
time my,
demon.
my jaw just opened. I was like, dang, all right. But it really did hurt when he said like, um no, he was like, think Mark, you will live to see like this world blow up and turn and crumble, what is there like what is the reason to fight me, or what is the reason to even save
Right.
this planet, when you're gonna live this long, who's gonna be there for you? And he was like, you, dad. And I was like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
That shit that
It
hit
was
deep.
deep.
That hit
That was
deep.
deep.
And he said that with his like with tooth missing, blood all over his face and
Hmm.
everything. And Omni Man, I was just like, yo, what have I done? Because at the
Exactly.
same time, he was like, I'm loyal to Viltrumite, but at the same time, I was like, dang, I just beat my son to a pulp. And he was like, I can't come back. So I'm interested to see where season 2 goes with Omni
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. I am too. I think it was a good show. I think the show was really
Yeah,
good. I'm really excited to see where they do and where they take it because it's crazy. It's definitely crazy. Mm,
yeah.
hmm. I don't
But
know.
yeah.
I don't know. Um, hmm. I'm thinking about where the show could go, and I know we kind of had that shock ending, but I just
I've
what
so
are they gonna do past
this is
that? It's
So
it's
this
that's
isn't
what I'm
really
thinking.
spoiler because I haven't caught up all the way, but I've heard people said like if you think Omni Man's like the worst Viltrumite, wait till you see the rest. And so I'm
Okay.
thinking when people were saying that, I'm thinking that well, either more Viltrumites come to Earth or Mark is gonna go and fight the other Viltrumites and convince them to stop what they're doing. And I feel
Okay.
like it's gonna be the latter. Like he's gonna go
Okay.
because at the end of the episode, he meets Alan again, that alien, and he was like, "Well, you're the first Viltrum. I've never heard of Viltrumite, leaving his post, and I didn't know
Right.
like a Viltrumite can be good. And so he's like, we can. What I'm understanding is like they can train Mark. I'm pretty sure he's gonna have to go through like a soul training arc to
Hmm.
fight the Viltrumites. Even Cecil's
Okay.
gonna help out as well too. So
Yep.
I
I
think
hope
that's
it
where they're
goes
gonna
in that
go.
direction because if it continues in the same direction where he's just trying to manage everything, the cheating gonna be trash. I don't want to see that again. Like
I'm tired of seeing his getting his ass whooped over and over again.
I
Like
mean
it's
that and
realistic,
just
don't get me
and just
wrong,
mhm.
but yeah,
Like him just like managing high school. Like I feel like we've got that
yeah.
development and let's go to outer space and let's see what's going over there. Let's bring in some new characters and see how they kind of go. But yeah, that's Invincible.
Yeah. So,
Mm. Uh,
overall, what would you give it out of 10?
a rating. Oh my gosh.
You gotta rate it.
Man, it's so hard. It's so hard because I always rate anime and I always go like based on the scale of what I see on anime. But whenever I watch something else outside of it, it's always hard for me to give something a solid rating. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 8.5. I'm gonna give it an 8.5. That's where I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it 8.5, maybe 9. I think I'm only gonna dock it off just because of like the animation, but again, the animation wasn't that bad to me. But overall, it was a pretty solid show. I'm
Yeah.
excited to see where it's gonna go, and hopefully, it improves on certain areas that were kind of lacked upon. So yeah.
Mhm. I agree. All right. Well, all right. That's the video. It's your boy Dcentos, the man Straw Hat Yomo, and follow us on Twitter. All that gonna be in the description. What am I? I'm at Dcentos underscore. And what's your plug yourself? What's your joint?
It is as Straw Hat Yomo. So Straw Hat and then YOMO. That's it on everything on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and on TikTok. I'm thinking about uploading some content on TikTok as
Oh,
well too.
TikTok.
But
He gonna start dancing
yeah.
on TikTok.
Oh yeah, we're gonna start dancing on TikTok. Get that money up.
Yes,
So yeah.
sir. All right. Okay. All right. We out of here. Peace.
Peace.